Namaste and welcome again to the Willpower series. And today we will be tackling the big problem of procrastination. No prioritization, no planning. What I mean is, I had underestimated the topic of procrastination, and as I was doing the write-up for this video, I realized there is so much to talk about it. So this video is going to be all about procrastination, and we will take up the other piece in a later video. Procrastination. The act of delaying or putting off tasks for a later time, often resulting in negative consequences or risking leaving a task undone, a task which is mostly an important one. Let me get it out there. There is no shortcut or easy way around this. You've got to do the thing that you've got to do. And the person who is saying this to you right now, myself, yours truly, have been guilty of procrastinating way too often, way too long. And I have to confess, I am still not completely out of that undesirable habit of procrastinating. But am I better than before? Yes, definitely. But is there still scope for improvement for me on that front? Quite a bit. So yes, as I am telling you, even I have to work towards eradicating this habit as much as possible. Set a goal in your sights, make a plan of all the steps to be taken to reach it, have a deadline for each of those steps, and finally climb those steps. Reach those milestones, however minor, one by one. Take pride every time you cover a milestone. Celebrate, reward yourself in however small way. Relax for a bit and take the next step. There is no other way. And yes, it can take one hell of a willpower to overcome your procrastination. So then what do you do? As I said before, no skipping, no escaping this, but there are a few things you can do in order to prevent procrastination from becoming a bigger or an even insurmountable problem, and use as little willpower as possible in the process without either draining it or overwhelming yourself. How? Number one. First and foremost, realize that you can only procrastinate or delay something, not completely and forever avoid it. And the more you procrastinate a thing, the bigger the issue becomes and the more it plays on your conscience and mind. So, by delaying the task, we are not only creating a bigger problem for ourselves, but also, in reality, ruining our present. The more we realize this, the better course of action we will take. Say, for example, you need to take out a toxic person from your life. Maybe you need to break up with that person. Maybe you need to ask that person to leave, or maybe you have to move out and move on in order to rid yourself of this toxicity. And as Nike says, just do it. Do it and buy yourself that peace of mind. You will thank yourself later. Delaying in this case is only going to worsen your life every passing day. Don't let it be too late. Number 2, as they say, eat that frog first thing in the morning, or at least in the first half of the day. The frog here is the task you greatly dislike or fear or you don't look forward to, because of which you obviously delay and procrastinate it. As we discussed in the first point, you probably know you have to eat the frog sometime or someday. There is no denying it. However, the reason I am saying get it done in the morning or first half of the day is because that's when you are in the best position to use that reserve of willpower. You have more energy during this time, and it not only helps you use your willpower better, but also allows you to use lesser willpower than otherwise. So, as much as you hate it, eat that frog first thing. The rest of the activities anyways require much lesser willpower, and you are always in a better position to achieve them even with less willpower in reserve. Number 3, get rid of that earworm.
Hello.
You know what a earworm is? You might have often caught yourself humming a tune or singing a song in your head without consciously doing it, or without even noticing it for a period of time. And surprise, surprise, you don't even like that song or tune. You almost hate it. And yet, for some dang reason you cannot fathom, you can't seem to get rid of it, and it can get so irritating. You know what is considered a cure for this earworm? It is actually consciously singing out that song loud enough and be done with it. Doing so is supposed to stop the earworm. I don't know, try it. Now, the same can be applied in procrastination as well. Uncompleted tasks and unmet goals tend to keep popping into one's mind again and again like a earworm. Once the task is completed and the goal reached, the earworm stops as well. Number 4, break it down. The reason you procrastinate something is because you don't like doing something, or maybe are fearful of the process or consequences. If you feel something ought to be done, but you will probably never come around to doing it anytime soon, break down the task into elaborate smaller tasks and do one small task a day or at a time. Breaking up the bigger task makes it easier to tackle, and sometimes you are done with the task before you know it. Number 5, drop. The best possible solution you can hope for. Give it some thought and see if the task actually can be dropped altogether without causing any future negative consequences for yourself or anyone else. If yes, that would be the best possible scenario. Let's take an example. Say you have to update and send your resume to a certain company you were hoping to bag an interview at, but somehow you never got around to doing it. And maybe on a deeper level, on deeper contemplation, you realize that you don't even like that role, you don't like that nature of job, you don't want to be there, you want to do something else. Drop it. No point in sending that resume to that particular company anymore. Task done. Number 6, delegate. The next best possible solution when you know the task cannot be absolutely avoided. If that frog can be handed over to another to be taken care of, go ahead and do it. But then be sure that the person will be handling it the right way and not worsen an already existing problem and make it even bigger. An example would be to break some bad or sad news to a family member maybe, and you can have their doctor do it instead of you doing it. Number 7, follow the 2 5 and 15-minute rule. I'm good at following the 2-minute rule, but even I sometimes fail at the 5 and 15-minute rule. I'm still working on it, but I'm sure I'll get it eventually. Now, if you know a task takes only 2 or even less than 2 minutes to be carried out, get it done, get it out of the way then and there, and do not put such less time consuming tasks on a to-do list. Most tasks we end up procrastinating get created in the first place because we neglected or ignored to do all those 2 minutes tasks, and then they all come together forming one big task. Avoid that. 5-minute rule. When I'm working on a bigger, more time consuming task, especially one that requires me to be seated in a place, I try to take 5 to 10-minute breaks in between, say maybe in an hour. And during those 5-10 minutes, I try to do whatever I can, like maybe fold washed and dried clothes, do a bit of dusting, maybe organize a shelf or a drawer, or even take out the trash. That actually gets so much work done. Sometimes when I'm really deep into the work, you sort of get into the work flow, and when you get into the flow, neither is it possible nor is it a good idea for you to just give it a break in between and do something else. So when you are in the flow, go with the flow. There's no point in doing something else then. But then when you know you're not completely there and you ought to take a break, then yes, take a break. You will not only get a break, you can also get some work done. 15-minute rule. Now, this especially applies to some kind of a job that needs you to really brainstorm or focus, or maybe do decision making or problem solving. It can include writing, even completing a book, either reading or writing a book, studying, especially a subject you are not fond of. We are talking of doing something that ought to be done, but you seem to have a block, you seem to have been stuck. You can't seem to think in the right direction or do a satisfactory job. Well, just start. Just give it 15 minutes a day. Doesn't matter if you still get nowhere and the job remains undone. Just kick starting and sticking to it for 15 minutes. Once, twice, or as many times as you need to will eventually take off and get you somewhere in due time. That reminds me of the beautiful quote by Martin Luther King Jr. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but keep moving forward. This quote applies absolutely to any aspect of your life. Finally, before I sign off, know this: the more you procrastinate, the higher your chances of failure. So better promptly do away with procrastination. I'll see you again. Bye.